Greetings. We're here in Utah. Today we're going to be riding the waterfall trail here on San Rafael Swell. I see there will be a lot of single trails here. We have never been here before, this is our first time. We thought it was time to visit this place. We missed it last year. Beautiful weather, couldn't ask for better. But the wind has picked up a lot. Let me say a few words about the tires here at the beginning. This is our last day in Utah, the tires are pretty worn out. And they're giving me some unpleasant feedback at times. Another important thing, I see this is a pretty fast trail, and it's two-way. You can imagine other bikers coming from the front, and they did. I didn't think there would be anybody but us at the end of the world. But it's the weaker ones coming from the front, because they're going downhill, it's easier and faster that way. Maybe it's really better for beginners to go clockwise. I think we're going the harder way on this trail, but I don't mind. There will be a part where there will be a lot of trees and a lot of sharp line turns. I'd better be careful and go a little slower. Alright, let's move on. It's a beautiful place, I could ride my KTM here all day long. By the way, this trail is very enjoyable. It's neither difficult nor too easy. It's a real relaxing place, far away from the noise of the city in the middle of nowhere. Someone wrote me the other day that they thought my videos were boring because I didn't talk in them. Honestly, who the hell wants to talk? I came here to ride my KTM through it. Besides, I don't like it when someone talks in a shaky voice while riding a motorbike, and their voice gets stuck on every stone. If you don't like it, go to the theater, nobody asked you to be bored here. I like it, and I like to hear the sound of the motorcycle in the videos, not the empty chatter. I have torque map on my KTM. I almost never used it. Let me say few words about it. So, I have a torque map on my KTM, it's pretty good. I set it to map 2. Now it's on. I can feel the torque in the low and mid range, in the high range I can feel that it's not as strong as map 1. Map 1 is a strong aggressive map, with sudden acceleration, and on top it's too strong, the front wheel keeps coming up when I look at the throttle. It was actually much better to ride on these terrains with the torque map, I could feel the torque, and to tell you the truth, I also feel the fuel consumption has improved. Since I don't want to race anyone, I have no intention of speeding at high revs, this torque is super fun for me. If I twist it really wide open, I can barely get 45 miles on a tank of gas. I've been left without gas in the middle of nowhere several times, I've probably added a very tough map on this KTM. However, this torque map is usable everywhere and the fuel consumption is quite excellent. Maybe I should use this map more often. A funny story. A friend of mine told me that two-strokes are no good for Enduro because the wheel spins on the obstacles. Well, I don't know. Since I bought this KTM, he hasn't come with me once. When I used to ride a heavy 4-stroke KTM, he always wanted to come, and he liked having the advantage over me. Maybe he was jealous to talk me out of the two-stroke. I used to ride a heavy KTM 500 on similar trails like this. But really, the 4-stroke bikes are so heavy on single track. No matter, there are people who excel only next to the weak. In the end, no matter who said what, he wanted to talk me off the KTM 300. However, the KTM 500 is one of the best dual sport bikes. I have used it in many cases in Utah and on many other hard terrains. Yes, one of the things I don't like about it is that you have to use the clutch a lot at slow speeds, and the stock EPA downgraded type likes to stall a lot and heat up. At this point the trail splits in two directions. We should have gone uphill to the left, but I followed the tracks, down to the right, incorrectly. This trail led us into a canyon and we had to come back. It was a pretty tough ramp here. Not for me, but for the others, I had to help a little. I'm sure this isn't the path we want to take, but the view is gorgeous and I don't mind this little detour. But I hope this is not the chapter where the mutants come from the wrong turn. We finally found the right way. We had to go up. It's not as easy as it looks, slippery sandy rocks. Then I try to find a parking space at the top, which is not easy because there is no straight part where the KTM does not fall over. Alright, we all did it, let's go. I see it, and I can clearly see that this is the part where the day starts to get interesting. The trail climbs and the view gets better. I mean, the landscape is getting more and more beautiful. We are getting higher and higher, and yes, we are only riding on the edge of the mountain. The wind is blowing really hard. I'm afraid it will push me down, and then the song is over. This is what I'm talking about. There is a very strong wind. One time you don't pay attention and that's it. Fortunately, nothing was broken and no one was injured. I don't know how long it would take for someone to get here if you needed help. I think if you get a broken rib by the time the helicopter or the ambulance gets here, I think you could easily suffocate. Let's stop here for a moment. Where I put the arrow, motorcyclists cross. They are ruining the area, giving our dear government a chance to close this path forever. How long this trail will be open is up to you. There is also a warning posted in the parking lot that 44% of the area has already been closed. Stay on the marked route. If you cannot take this turn and you have to cross straight, then you can't ride a motorcycle. I recommend you go to a training course. There are many places. They will teach you how to turn. Thanks. And I'll put the picture here that I didn't make this up. It's a real issue. Stay on the trail, don't make a wider path, don't cut a new trail. Funny or not, this sign says that it is not recommended to come here with a 1973 Honda CB175, because the helicopter airlifts are expensive. Good to know. I think I will sell my Honda now. I'm in a place for the first time, I'm always nervous about what will happen next. I like to discover new places. Anyway, I like this trail. A gentle step down, not dangerous. Makes my day a bit. It's an enjoyable trail, pleasant up and down hills like a rolling coaster. I can see a more serious hill coming on the horizon. When I get up, the wind blows me so hard that I almost stand on my head. We stopped to eat, drink, rest and talk. A couple of very tough guys came with racing bikes. They avoided us without saying a word. They were in a big hurry. Later we saw them to push their bikes up on the next hill. I thought it would be better if I looked around there before I ran into the unknown. That hill was no joke. thought it would be better if I only ride halfway up to look around, but unfortunately halfway through I changed my mind and I didn't have enough speed anymore. So I put the KTM down nicely. This hill is much steeper than the GoPro lets you see. But it can be done. I went up the second time. Now comes a long section that bleeding us out, a very long run at the bottom of the canyon. It was really very long, with turns and deep gravel one after another. The wind and the heat are already starting to make us smaller. We still have a little food and water. We are winding hopefully between the walls of the rocks. It's hard to even think about walking here. The view is stunning. We can't see the end yet. This place is starting to seem endless. We just keep going forward and forward, never ending. It is easy to forget about the deep gravel bed. You have to pay close attention. The front wheel can easily slip out. Sometimes there are large stones under the soft gravel, which arrives like a horse's kick. If you have wandered in spirit because of the long journey, it has a very good wake-up effect. There's a natural bridge here. I'll take a closer look. These protruding blades are exactly at neck height. Perhaps this is called a natural death. Well, that was just a joke. But it's pretty scary and like they're sharp. That's what I am talking about. I'm starting to feel like this road will never end, and I'm just going round and round. Looking at the map, we are moving forward. Let me say a few more words here. Here are these whoops. I even like better the washboards. Oh my goodness, these whoops. I can't stand them. They're separated by an extraordinary distance, no two are the same. Either you jump on top of it, or in the middle of it, or you jump over it, but it's just no good. It forces you to go slowly over them. So by the way it works, this kind of riding is not really good for the knee joints. It's like jumping on a MX track. I understand they want to slow traffic down to make it safe. The other thing is to kick up less dust. But it's not doing my knee any good at my age, so at the end of the day it's very uncomfortable and tiring. I think I'm not alone in feeling this way. Other than that, it's a pretty good place. Finally we did it. I can't believe it, here is the end. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like the entrance to a new world with smooth roads. But our campsite is far away from here, we still have a good 20 miles to go. This was a great place to ride a dirt bike. I think everyone can find what they are looking for here, I dare to recommend it to everyone. To sum up today, it was a nice day out. Beautiful scenery, lots of ups and downs, lots of twists and turns, and a few obstacles that even a beginner can overcome. That's all for today.